audible, no?
Yeah, yeah.
It, don't forget to save it, okay, toward the end.
Oh, yeah, yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay, sorry. 1 second, bro. I'll put some. You put some reminders somewhere else.
No, no worry. So,
Yeah,
very good
we'll just.
afternoon to one and all
Yeah,
present.
yeah,
Good
one
evening to
minute.
one and all present here.
2 minutes,
So,
2 minutes.
before
2 minutes.
before we progress,
Ryan.
huh?
2 minutes, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Usual come fast.
Hi guys, thanks for coming.
Right.
Oh, he has to
Yeah.
wear his. You ready, Joel?
Yeah. Go on. Hi, everyone. So
Hey
sorry for the
guys.
delay.
Yep, sorry for the delay. Welcome to our first live session. So before we progress, I just want to tell each and every one of you that all of us, three of us here from Fantastic, would like to just send positivity to all of you there. We know we're going through tough times, and we hope that things get better. We are praying for all, each and every one of you, your family members, and we hope that all of us get through this. So there is a question which everyone has been asking us from the beginning. Actually, a lot of people DM me, they've DM Joel, DM Bevin, asking one thing: what is Fantastic? A few of you would have figured what Fantastic is, but I think you need a better, elaborate explanation as to what we want to do with this. So, Joel and Bevin, you guys can take it on from your end.
Yeah, that was a very brief introduction as such. But thank you so much for joining us. And despite the harsh times around us, and especially with the IPL also being indefinitely being pulled off. But then this is something which we have been pioneering on the idea for quite some time. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah,
Am I
continue.
audible? Yeah. So we have been pioneering on this idea for quite some time with regard to the fantastic arena as such. So some people must have asked me, like, is it like a gaming arena, or is it some kind of what's the entire motive behind holding this kind of idea as such, despite the times which we are in. So this is something which we actually brought forward during like a business competition as such, and that's how we felt that in order to go in deeper, we need to build on this idea and make it a lot more sustainable, at least on paper. So this is something what we are intending to do is more of like a gaming arena, which can be which will actually be targeting on to the airports of at least the tier one airports of the country. So be it Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, Madras, or even Calcutta as well. So like these, but the very reason why is that because we want to really help the, like, in order to help the services of these airports, because the sad reality is because many people complain of even tier one airports having low services, or not enough entertainment, because the maximum amount of entertainment which we have right now is like it might be like duty free shopping, or a few restaurants here and there, but then not really much into the gaming or leisure as such. Because at least before the COVID times, what we saw in a study was that between 45 to 90 minutes there used to be an average waiting time, and between that particular time, the max to max what you'll be doing is using the airport Wi-Fi, or trying to do something as such. But then you also have kids, and also you'll have even adults too, who would find who would actually be facing boredom as such. And what is available in the airport is only duty free shops and restaurants, which are pretty expensive on the high on the outset. So what we propose to do actually, and what we built around the entire idea, is trying to have these gaming arenas in these airports, but not just restricted to the indoor gaming as like a PlayStation, or even with regard to the regular arcade games, but also an inclusion of the outdoor as well is what we intended to do. I think if Ryan or Bevin could actually lay emphasis on that. In the meanwhile, do pour in your questions also with regard to what you're hearing right now, or also what you've observed. At least because we have been posting it since March, and then there was a 1 month or a 3 week hiatus. But then for some period of time there was a lot of questions. So keep pouring in your questions so we can be addressing it. And also you can be on the live video as well, if you have a particular question to ask as well. So yeah, over to you, Ryan and Bevin.
Yeah, so any of you want to join the live video, we can have a first-hand experience. Like if you've traveled a lot, if you've been to a lot of airports, please actually do send a request. We will try to consider it. Bevan, continue, bro. You can talk about what we want to put in the arcades and stuff.
Okay, so
Loud.
let me first of all say
Loud.
that whatever Joel says, right, it's a gaming arena, but we want to change the whole perspective of an airport. Okay, as kids, when we went to an airport, going to an airport itself is more than enough joy for me at least. But let's face it, that's not the case anymore because after going to the airport, the prices of everything are completely hiked up, and you can't do anything else but eat or shop there. So at least for adults, they can read books or do something, and they know the what do you say, the value of time, and so they can just spend around time over there. But as well, but for kids and all the other adults who have to take care of their kids, first of all, going to an airport and going through the whole journey itself is very tiring. Okay, there's a lot of tedious hours where you have to wait for change of airplanes and all that. So what we are trying to do is change the whole perspective of when a person goes to an airport. Okay, and talking about the arcade and what we're going to introduce in the arcade, it's going to be of all extracurricular activities like football, cricket, or video games. Because nowadays we know gaming is a huge thing. We have the recent thing where GameStop completely blew the stock market because the gaming industry as to how big they are. Yeah, and people are very much into gaming, and you can see things like this have already started up everywhere. Where games and games and food go very well, and games and food are a great way to spend time, and that's why we, as Fantastic, are trying to bring this change to the airport and benefit everyone. Here, we benefit from it. The people going to the airport benefit from it. The government benefits from the private airport benefit from it. Because let's be honest that airports are not doing very well right, especially with the pandemic hitting us and all that. So yeah, so that's our aim, and we hope to bring fun to airports. How we say our domain is fantastic.
Yeah.
So if any of you all have questions or queries about Fantastic, you all can just mention a question here. Because within the past month, I've got a lot of questions as well as Ryan and Joel also have got a lot of questions regarding this. So, and if you want to come live, can do so. If anyone want to pitch some questions, also can do so. Yeah.
Yeah.
to
So
to add on to what Bevan said, so it's the idea, the concept really came out because, see, I'll give a very simple example. Let's say the times we go to a mall, okay? Whenever, I'll be honest, I'm giving my example. I hope many of you can relate. I go to a mall. We obviously, the purpose of going to a mall is simply to go have fun. Maybe sometimes you go to watch a movie, or you go to simply hit the food court, or you go for shopping. And what happens is many a times my experience as I grew up, my eye always used to move towards the gaming arcade. I would see Amoeba or Time Zone or whatever it is, and I was always intrigued to go there and play. If not play, even simply go there and look at others play. So that's the entire idea of that. Like an arcade, simply whether you're a person who likes to have fun and play games or not, you still go to an arcade and have fun. And even if you look at Amoeba for that matter, even today the number of people that go there are not explicitly kids. It's even the older people that want to go there and have fun at a place like that. So that's why we thought in the airport, if we can introduce an entire arcade. So like how Joel said, we would have your FIFA playing stations, and where you could play FIFA, Xbox, whatever you want. Then on other end we would have like the cricket batting nets. Then we would have an entire arcade itself, like you've seen in Amoeba and stuff. So we thought we could keep an entertainment, a zone completely for entertainment in the airport. That would, a lot of people do prefer stuff like that, rather than spending money. Because actually, in terms of buying food, really, most of us don't buy food from the airport because it's very expensive. Even in terms of shopping, I don't think really people don't shop until unless it's duty free in the international airport and in the waiting lounge. So I don't think people do much of shopping. So that's the thing. We thought we would put something like this out here. And even in terms of, airport spaces that are often wasted, I think Joel can elaborate on that. There's a lot of spaces that is free in airport. Joel, you can continue.
yeah, like adding on to that, there was actually a report by even the government that there are around 26 or like odd airports which are like a lot more maybe the unused airports. And even the what we intending to do is actually trying to expand like what our ideas and what we had built on with regard to our business plan, also with regard to several of our key stages, what we had emphasized on is trying to expand is beyond the tier one cities. Because even like what we take the example is wherein if foreigners have to be or people from abroad have to come to a place like, let's say, Jaipur or even Jodhpur as such, they would not, even if there was a direct flight to Jaipur from Dubai or from anywhere else, they would not prefer to take it. They would prefer to rather take the flight to either Bombay or Delhi as such. Because let's face it, some of the airports are not really well equipped to handle the entire services, and also like even if there's long amount of waiting time in these airports when they're traveling back to their respective countries, so hence they preferably would like to would land in Delhi and take a train or a bus to Jaipur or to other cities as such. So what we intend to do is trying to generate to actually enhance the services in the airports by having the gaming arena, and it's going to be an inclusive of both an indoor experience and also an outdoor experience as well. But also on the outset, because many of our airports today, like the constant question which we have also got is how are airports going to be running profitably in the coming years, because we are having a pandemic ongoing, and also many of the travel also is being suspended in many parts, or it's suspended or is restricted in many parts of the country. So this kind of a service, at least when the situation gets better, it will try to enhance the airport services, like seeing this particular arena and how it's growing as such, and how it actually helps in the services based on which even the other services in the airport too can be developed and also enhanced as well. Because even in these smaller airports, even in the tier 2 airports, the max to max what you have is like two or three A to Bs or maybe a small restaurant as such. So seeing this particular gaming arena or like a leisurely arena as such will actually enhance the services of the airport and also generate more revenue, and also it'll try to keep a positive kind of an image to the outside to the abroad airports as well with regard to services. Because if you go to the worst airports in the world, you would see many of the airports in India also featuring in as well, and it's something which has to be dealt on, and also is being dealt on as well deeply as such. So what we are seeing right now is also in many of the bigger airports, there are so many empty spaces as well. Either it's for rent or even just empty space as such. So what can be utilized by setting up maybe a small center or a small franchisee and then developing it on and trying to expand it to other airports as well, because it will actually help during the long waiting times faced by the travelers as such. So this is what my entire statement with regard to the airport's facilities, and we would love to have your questions also coming in with regard to the entire aspect of how we intend to start in the first place. How will COVID impact the entire services if it were to start, and also what is the next step as such. So if you do have questions to that, we can proceed. Or I can pose a question to Bevan and Ryan. Considering that we have the corona situation, how would won't people feel hesitant to use these facilities even if the situation gets a little bit better as such? Do you expect people to be using these facilities in the arena, be it like the gaming controls, or even the practice pitches, or even the football pitches also in the airport as such? So how are you going to be tackling the aspect of corona, and also how are you going to be tackling the aspect of the future aspect of the entire arena as such? Over to you.
So, if I'll start off firstly. So the thing is, we firstly plan to come into action, when the situation gets a little better. Irrespective, yes, we know whether once COVID settles down in India, as in the situation becomes better, we still won't be completely free of the virus. We would still have to follow precaution and all of that. And like we mentioned in our business plan itself, where we plan to have a particular sanitization facility, having that being our top priority, to the safety of people, obviously. So we have that in our plan itself. We have that in our entire plan. When we draw it out, we have a particular amount of people that are going to be working in that, ensuring sanitization. And apart from that, we have all our other maintenance and all of that. So that's one thing that we are doing in regard with COVID. Definitely, yes. Like you properly said. So yeah, another question in regard with this that often comes is right now because of COVID, the airports have an option where they have like an electronic booth or so. I've not been to the airport right now, but apparently there is an electric way of checking in, and the only thing you end up doing is your security check where there's a person doing. So the amount of people working at the airport is less, and the time you take to go from entering the airport to your boarding gate is a lot lesser right now. So some people say that they might implement that once we go back to normal, so there won't typically be a lot of waiting time. And in regard with that also, what I feel is in India that will obviously not happen because the number of flights we have is a lot. So the amount of people that will come to the airport once things settle in will be a lot. So I don't think that would work. So yeah, coming back to the question, like Joel said, I feel yeah, the sanitization we have a plan, and we would be starting first. If we let's say hypothetically we are starting in the next 3 months. Obviously, COVID is not gone, and we would have to follow protocols, which we would, and that is something that's needed. So, Bevin, do you want to add on something to that?
Uh, I just like to say that with this current pandemic that we're going through, uh, how much of a time it may take, people are not going to stop traveling at the end of the day. They will go to the airports to travel because people want to go. You know. And when that happens, and that is when Fantastic is going to implement themselves. And yeah, so we're going to take all the safety protocols that's required by the government, and we'll make sure that everything is sanitized before and after a person uses an arcade or any game. And so therefore, yeah, it will be quite a struggle for us to go through this plan during the pandemic. But we hope to start this plan after the pandemic, after the cases reduce and after the virus. Also, another thing I want to tell is a lot of people joined in right now. So if you all want to ask any questions about Fantastic, we'll be willing to repeat it all over again because I know a lot of people might have missed out on it. So if you all have any questions, you can still put it out on the chat box, or you can come live right over here and you can ask questions that we'll answer.
uh, how are you going to be the one more question which has been posed is how are you going to be handling the entire marketability aspect of the arena? What are your plans in trying to bring it to the mainstream audience, or trying to introduce the ideas like with your 5-year plan, or at least with the coming years as such? So what are you going to be intending as such? What's your target audience, and also how are you going to be proceeding? And yeah, that's basically what's the question.
Our target audience as such, like Bevin also mentioned early on, is that firstly, both of you mentioned it, the fact that kids like arcades, and kids don't have something to do in airport typically. Your parents, I mean, the older people can read a book or surf the internet, and kids, but the idea is we have a proper arcade setup for all age groups. All right, we have a gaming arcade, any age. Like, you don't need to be a particular age to play the games. Like, for kids, they have those cringy merry-go-rounds and the car racing game and stuff. Then the elder people have that basketball game. Then there's cricket net with a bowling, and there's football beating the super keeper. You guys have been to Smash, right? So let's say one of you go to Smash also. There are things for all age groups, so we don't particularly have a target audience. In that regard, maybe yes, obviously the people who are waiting for longer period of time, we give them a platform to come here and play, have some fun. And the thing is, it's like any other thing. You see a bunch of people playing, you go see what's happening there, and then you're like, okay, fine, I'll also play a few games, I have time. And in terms of marketing also, we have a lot of ideas, such as printing our advertisements in the boarding pass, giving people a particular percentage of offers, as per the boarding pass will be written. You have a boarding pass, you have an offer, like you get 20% discount, you come. Or maybe even like we can, like, how yeah, another thing, we all go to the airport, all of us make it a point to put an Instagram story tagging KIA or whichever airport we are from. So just like that, another Instagram thing could be, use the hashtag Fantastic and get a discount again from our side. So in terms of that also, yeah, we are pretty set. We have a lot of ideas. Bevin, would you like to add on?
Coming to the target audience point, like as Ryan said, it's kind of like for everyone. but we understand there are some adults who do want to play games. And for those who do want to play games, they just want their children to have fun. We're providing an environment for parents also to spend time in a more relaxed silence. In the airport, there's, even though there's a lot of more seating area, it's very rushed. Let's face it, outside. Airports have come out with booths where it's a place where you can just sit and it's completely silent. So what we aim to do, we are creating an environment for parents while the children have fun safely. The parents can sit around in a more comfortable area with food and drinks and chill out over there while we spend time there. And talking about the marketability, yes, like Ryan said, we'll have coupons that we put on air ticket and other things. And another thing I would like to bring up is we also aim to put advertisements in taxis. So taxis is a great source of income for us because let's face it, not a lot of people want to take a car over there, keep a car over there for like 3-4 days if they're taking a short trip and take the car back. So a lot of people take taxis. So and a lot of people when they go to the airport, they're already mentally prepared that they might have to spend a lot of time over there. So at that particular time, if they see an ad from Fantastic where kids see it's a gaming arena, the kids will be very excited to go to the airport the next time. And yeah.
Yeah, like even with regard to how we're going to be placing the arena as well, like how are you going to be strategically going to be placing the arena and aspects like what Ryan had mentioned with regard to taking a selfie with the arena and tagging arena, and the next time and the next time you come in, you'll be able to play you'll be able to play at least 2 games for free. So the kind of the how we're trying to approach is like basically establish it in the tier one city in particular, and then try at least find places in the airport because like as I mentioned like the several of our airports, many of the spaces are pretty empty, even next to the boarding gates as well. So if we strategically place the gaming arena in the place in the right place as such, and also like Ryan mentioned about printing on the boarding pass as well, and the aspect of the marketing as well, and also not just restricting it to the tier one city and trying to expand to other tier two and tier three, because once these kind of facilities reach down to the tier two and tier three city airports, the amount of services also get better. And then there's one particular kind of marketing which Ryan emphasized on, like you were saying about hush marketing. What was the term which you had used
Ambush
earlier?
marketing.
Yeah, so if you could just lay a emphasis on like also for the fact that unfortunately, I don't know why, there's no particular competitors in the market. Like we all know there are gaming arenas across the country, but in the airport as such, there is like many of our airports like they don't have this particular space of leisure and entertainment. So especially with regard to gaming arenas, I think what stands us apart from the others is basically how we are the first persons to actually introduce the idea of the gaming arenas in these airports as such. So yeah, over to you, Ryan, with regard to the entire aspect. Yeah.
Bevin, take that question. No, I've spoken a lot.
I would like to add what Joel said. Yeah, we are the first who have come up with this in India. But abroad, there have been gaming centers, but it's not been arcade gaming centers. It's only been strictly video game. But we aim to impose everything here. So from arcades, physical games to from entertainment centers to VRs, gaming is advancing and the technology is advancing drastically, and we aim to bring everything. And if you have any questions, you can ask. Joel, what is the question again?
Oh,
Yes.
my question was with Ryan with regard to the ambush marketing as well, and also with regard. Yes. Like, how do you bring the aspect of that, and also with regard to what's your next step? Like, what are you intending to bring out of this idea? How are you going to be pitching in this entire aspect as well? And what's going to be exciting for the investor if they ought to be coming in the first place? So though the idea is a very novel idea, how is it going to be exciting, and what's our next approach with regard to the the funding effort. Yes.
See, in terms of
Okay, when it comes
ambush
to ambush
marketing,
marketing, yeah, I think Ryan's more appropriate to talk
Yeah.
about.
Please.
no, see, I'll tell you guys what ambush marketing is for those of you who don't know. So it's simply like it's like ambushing means coming in between. So ambushing, I'll give you an example. Ambushing an event is where, let's say, IPL for example. Okay, let's say Vivo is the sponsor of IPL. We all know that it's Vivo IPL. Now, if Nokia, a competitor of Vivo, Nokia or Redmi, decides to send a bunch of people to the stadium to watch the match wearing Redmi t-shirts, okay? So that's what they do. They send a bunch of people in the match sitting there and wearing Redmi t-shirts. Redmi has not paid for this event. They're not even any sponsor. And right now the camera is showing the crowd cheering when the team hit a six or so. So right now camera shows the bunch of Redmi guys cheering wearing Redmi t-shirts. And what's happened is Redmi has endorsed themselves without even paying an amount of money. So that's what's called ambush marketing. So I would not particularly tell out our ambush marketing techniques because that would, not only expose what we have in mind, it would also like be us, even if we come to the market tomorrow, we are giving the companies who we want to ambush a heads up that we are going to come after them. So I wouldn't explicitly tell that, but I just told you guys what ambush marketing is. So it's based on that concept. So yeah, you guys want to continue.
And talking about what is the future, and as Joel said, what is the future of Fantastic for us? What's going to come up? Many people are excited to see where are you going with this, bro. Like I don't see where you're going with this. So where we're going with Fantastic is we have an idea that's very effective and very efficient. So we as Fantastic will hope to implement the idea after the pandemic and after the virus goes away. But if anyone wants to collaborate with us, can email us. The email will be in the link in the bio of the channel page. And anyone who wants to collaborate with us or invest in Fantastic can do so. And we'll explain everything what we're going to do, where we're going to start, and everything. So if you have more queries about Fantastic, you can again email us. Or right now, if you have any questions, you can talk. You can type it out in the chat box.
My friend Ashwin here has asked us a question. He's asking, by when can we expect our platform to kick off? Ashwin, fair question. Actually, even we ask ourselves that question as well. The thing is, we require finances, a lot of finances. And so that's my thing to you all. If we can get the finances today, I will promise you, we would obviously implement it very soon. But so that's what I'm saying. Like Bevin said, that's the thing. If you guys know people, if you guys can help us out, that's a big thing. If not, if you know VCs, we've spoken to a lot of venture capitalists already about the idea. And if you know VCs or if you know people who are in traditional investors also, if you know anyone, if you could connect us with any one of them, we would be more than happy to talk to them about it. And yeah, that's the thing. We don't have a certain date, as in provided we get obviously any business would need a good amount of investment, and this thing requires a lot more investment than three law students could think of. It's not that, but we are not giving up at the same time. We are doing our best. We are talking to people, trying to get the idea completely out there, which is why we decided to come on the public domain and put the idea out on Instagram, put it on LinkedIn, put it on YouTube, Facebook, all of it. So yeah, guys, so that's my request to all of you, to please keep on sharing our posts. If you like the idea, of course, if you like it, please share. If you have any suggestions, if you want to collaborate, you want to join us, please hit us up. If you can help us in any way in terms of marketing, in terms of anything, HR or and once again, I'm telling, if you know someone, if you know a family friend, or if you know someone who's good, who can invest, who's into investing, who's doing all those kind of things, please let us know, and we will consider it seriously. And you guys can also join our team if you help us in a really good way. We will definitely make you guys join our team. That's not a big issue.
Surely. Anything else? How is the IPL season, or it's just useless to talk about it?
Oh yeah, I think that just happened, So Fantastic. Also, we had one of our marketing plans to, like during the IPL season, have a particular offer, like based on the cities where, like example, the Bangalore branch of Fantastic. Every time Bangalore has a match, we would give a discount. That was one of our marketing strategies. So yeah, in terms of IPL, everyone is. I think most of us here are disappointed that IPL has stopped. I mean, it's not stopped. It's actually it's suspended indefinitely. So people are saying it's cancelled. It's like you've gotten suspended from school. You're not kicked out of school yet. So that's the difference. So and apparently,
I think
what I heard is that they're planning to create a bubble in Mumbai and finish it off because Mumbai has two ICC renowned cricket stadiums, and apparently Maharashtra's tackled the surge comparatively better, which is why Mumbai is considered. I don't know how legit is that. And yes, I think that's what indefinitely suspended means. You know, they're not canceling it as of now. And yeah, even the foreign players and all can't go back. You know, from what I know, Australians can't go back till May 15th. The New Zealand players, anyways, want to go to England. They don't have plans of going back to their house because they have to go to England for the World Test Championship. So I don't think, and I hope that they will do a proper quarantine for the next 7 days, and they will plan on how they can execute it. Because I'm pretty sure a thing like an organization like the BCCI would be ready for such a situation. They would have been prepared, and which is why you can see they've immediately taken action accordingly. As soon as the cases rise, they stopped it, and now they're trying to execute another plan. So yeah, that's that.
yeah, I think one team, like someone mentioned, one team is always used to suspension, so it's anyway a practice for them to extend.
Yeah. It was stated right that no other team, as in the only people who the suspension is, I mean, only people who are not reacting to the suspension are CSK fans because they're used to it. But yeah, I think that's a
They're
good
good
joke.
CSK fans, I know.
Definitely, you know, it would sit any CSK fan down. But yeah, that's what in regard with IPL.
Yeah, so in the end, I think the like one more like the last question which keeps popping up is, do you really think it's going to be very optimistic in the future, like at least with regard to travel in at least the next 4 months? And I think it is unfortunate that with regard to the number of COVID deaths around us and also that the cases surging, but hoping that the situation gets better and people just can't stay in their homes for long. So they hope and hoping that the vaccination also gets springs up faster as such, so that people will be able to get back to the normal work. So hence, with regard to the fantastic services getting deterred, that'll be seen in the near future. But till then, yeah. What are the question is, what sort of passengers do you guys expect to play in the Fantastic Arcade? Departure, stopover, or arrival? It's mostly pandered to the departure and stopover, because basically, with regard to stopovers, we like see. I think this can be also an idea of trying to make India as the next stopover hub. So usually the regular stopover hubs are either Dubai or Heathrow or even other places are in the Middle East as such, and at least in Asia as such, or at least in the South Asian sphere, India has never really sprung up as a stopover hub as such. So I think with regard to this, because and one of the key reasons being the lack of connectivity, direct connectivity, and also with regard to the kind of services available in the airport as well. So that is what our main idea was with regard to Fantastic, trying to enhance the airport services and trying to gain the revenue of the airport, and also build a positive soft power image in front of the foreign players in order to set their stopover hubs in India. At least, let's say Bombay or Delhi becomes the next stopover for at least flights moving on to Australia or to other Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, etc. So with this particular model, what can be precedented is with regard to the how far we can implement and how far we can actually enhance the services. But what we're catering towards is to the stopover passengers and also those who are leaving the airport, at least for like as I mentioned, according to a report by the airport, by several agencies, at least a minimum of 45 to 90 minutes is what one minimum. On an average, one spends around 45 to 90 minutes. So that particular period of time, the airport Wi-Fi and the max to max, what you can do is read a book or eat some food, but then that will be pretty expensive. But then in order to keep yourself relaxed and travel without any kind of issue as such, as where we are trying to target our audience towards. So basically it's stopover and departure, but also see, it's not restricted to anyone, but particularly to departure and stopovers passengers in particular. Yeah, if both of you can also answer, or if you have anything else to say as well.
Guys, in regard with IPL, I just got some news right now. Apparently, it's being, the actual word is IPL is being called off for now, is what BCCI said, and apparently they're sending the players back home. So just forget whatever I said just now. Like I
That's
said,
right.
I think I never confirmed and said. Yeah. So in regard with the question given by Varun, thank you, bro. So it's like, see, like Joel said, Joel explained it very on point. And it would also, depend on the place, So now, if a place and on how we've grown. Now, if we've grown really well over the first initial phase of our business, if we've grown and established really well, we can definitely, like you've seen a lot of, a lot of organizations, a lot of things like the duty free shops or few franchisees in an airport, they have it outside the airport, inside the airport and stuff. So once we've established really well, and if it's working, we can definitely have an outlet of the Fantastic Arena outside the airport and inside. And another factor would be, it depends. Now, let's say a place like Dubai. Okay, sometimes Dubai, it would matter on the place. So let's put Dubai for example. Let's say we're going international, or okay, no, I'll give India as an example. So I think Delhi IGI airport in Delhi is a proper hub where a lot of planes come, a lot of connecting flights happen through Delhi. So obviously, in a place like Delhi, we would love to have a brand, I mean, an outlet of Fantastic at the arrival section as well, because there a lot of layovers happen for a day or two in terms of Delhi, Dubai, and all of that. So people do come out of the airport. Like the waiting time is not particularly for 12 hours. It's sometimes 20 hours and stuff. So people do come out of the airport, check into a hotel. So if we can establish one there in those kind of places where we would get business, people can arrive and go to the place, like go to Fantastic, and people who are coming to the airport would also get to go to Fantastic as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the answer to your question.
Bevin, you have anything to say, or if you have anything to discuss upon? We would like to have more questions, or if it's the end, we can as well close the session with a few final words, essentially.
Yeah, guys, thank you to all of you. Like, I've gotten a few questions. I think few questions came on WhatsApp, but I didn't see it exactly. And Joel did question the similar things. So that's why I didn't bring it up again. And I got a few questions in terms of marketing once again that was addressed. So to all of you asked us questions, you want to ask us questions, you can definitely hit up the chat box in the next 1 or 2 minutes, or we will close. So
Do you intend to build football turfs in the airport, or what kind of outdoor game? We aren't only pandering towards arcade games and stuff. So what about that particular aspect? Yeah,
like I said, see, we can't build a football turf. That would, completely
yeah,
change this thing. That was maybe yes. It depends. Once again, it depends on the place. Football turf. It's like I don't know. You have to book a turf prior, right? You can't like two people can't go and say I want to play football, and then we can't lease the entire turf. So in terms of outdoor games, it's not explicitly outdoor games. It's like how one is archery. You have archery there, then you have cricket. So a lot of places there's a bowling machine and there's a net and the ball keeps coming at you. So probably you get to face 4 overs for a particular amount. And then you also have football. Football, it's not a turf. It's like that super goalkeeper. If you've seen in Smash, it's there in Smash. It's there in a lot of the arcades in India as well, where there's a super goalkeeper which literally reflexes to almost every shot you take. So even professional footballers miss that. So I'm saying there is fun games even in terms of outdoor, and that's what's been there for so many years. So I'm sure there will be a lot more new ones that we can implement, but these are the basic ones that we want to put. Then you have basketball. Basketball is, I think, the star of all arcade games. Whether you're a basketball player or not, everyone wants to play that basketball game where you keep throwing the ball. So yes, there's a lot of games and a lot of options out there. Bevin, do you want to add on something?
Yeah, so basically when it comes
Little louder, da,
to
Bevin.
outdoor games is when I meant outdoor games, okay, I'm sorry, but when I meant outdoor games, I meant games that you play outdoor and implementing them indoor. So it might not be the exact experience that you have when you play outdoor. So you won't be able to play in a turf and play football. but you will be able to play with football and football, and you'll get the same experience that you're playing football, or you'll know that you're playing basketball. And the same concept of the game is implied to an indoor perspective, and that is what we aim to do.
All right.
I think Minaj is on the chat. What's up, Minaj?
Yeah, so
If you
to
guys
all of
want
you
to
who joined
join
late, a
this,
lot of you joined late. Once again, our idea is simple. We want to set up set up a gaming arcade at various airports. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you here travel a lot. And I know for a fact that, obviously a lot of us get bored in the waiting areas. So that's the thing. That's the idea of setting up these gaming arcades in your waiting lounges of every airport, so you can have some leisure time to yourself. Joel?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what we like to sum up to. So you can check out our page once again, and in the end, like Ryan had mentioned earlier as well, we have approached several of the venture capitalists, and also those who are they were keen in the idea. But then what we see ahead is also something which might be a deterring factor. But then, what we urge you viewers over here is that if you know someone who's in the investing space as such, those who are keen on the idea of the gaming as I mentioned earlier, this is in public domain, so we are declaring it over here that our idea is centered around the gaming arena and airport, and we are the only kind of the aspect of we are the only ones with regard to having introduced the idea of gaming arena as an airport as such. So this kind of and also we do have our model finance plans as such. So these particular aspects is something which we would like to take it forward to those who are very keen with regard to the perspective as such. And we sincerely hope that as you carrying forward this message that you'll be able to reach out to the investors as such, and also those who may be interested in the idea. And if you want to collaborate or even join us as well, we would love to have you on board as well. So you can drop in the DM in our fantastic arena Insta page, or also we are on LinkedIn and on Twitter as well, or you can email to us as well in the email mentioned in our Insta profile. So I think towards the end, I think there's one question from Minaj. So something like games they have outside the BFC stadium is what they're asking. Oh, I have not been to the BFC stadium, so I don't know.
Yeah, Minaj. So in terms of our outdoor games, also, yeah, it's like 1 second. Yeah, so it's like how. See, yeah, that's a good example to give. Like outside your BFC, you have a lot of things to do. Outside the stadium itself, you have a selfie booth, you have a place where you kick the football into those cans that are there and stuff like that. So yes, there's a lot of games that happen outside the BFC stadium, and I think, yeah, even the super goalkeeper thing has been there once. So yes, games like that only, where we can engage a lot of people. Games that people would love to come spend money, of course, and spend some time playing and have fun. That's the entire idea of our thing. It's leisure. It's all leisure. So yes, that's a really good example, Minaj. So yeah, pretty much things like that, games like that you could win big also. You guys know these arcade stuff, winning something. Even though we spend a lot of money, we spend hundreds of rupees, but the moment we win something worth 10 rupees, we're really happy. So that's the thing over there. So yeah, the BFC stadium thing is also is something what we want to do. Thank you for that. Thank you for directing us to that.
So towards the end, I think Ryan would like to sum up the entire aspect of the session, and then dot towards the close as well.
Yeah, so I think a lot of you guys who are here, I can see the viewers, a few of you did join right now. So yeah, like I said, the idea Fantastic is India's first fun port, where we are going to establish a bunch of gaming arenas in the waiting lounges of airports. And what we intend is to target the audience that spend a lot of time waiting for their flights. And it's open for all age groups, from kids, to doing the cringy games, to the adults playing the sports games. And all of us have been to an arcade before, right? We do spend a lot of time. We have a lot of fun. So that's our idea. We will be posting this on our page as well. So if you want to go back and see as to how we discussed a little insight on how we plan to, market this and further implement this idea. We've also spoken to a lot of people, and once again, that's our pitch to all of you. Please, if not helping us directly, of course, we can't expect most of you students to like pitch in huge amount of money and stuff. But if you know investors, if you know people who can help us out, please do. I think most of you, I think all of you who are here on this live video know one of the three of us. So please let us know if you have ideas. Please let us know about that. And yeah, Bevin, would you like to add something on?
Uh,
Louder.
Thank everyone for coming. I just like to thank everyone for coming because, to be honest, we were also really nervous to come on the live video and speak about Fantastic, and we thought this is the best way to actually get it out to the public as to what our idea is. And to be honest, me, Ryan, and Joel were talking about the live meeting. We were like, guys, let's just hope it crosses 5 minutes because I don't think let's just not be ourselves talking to each other here. So I'm really happy that many people came out and to us and like as Ryan said, if you want to help us out directly or indirectly, you can let us know if people are interested in investing in trading arenas such as this. And yeah, so again, thank you again so
Yeah.
much.
Also, a pitch to all of you on a personal note. You guys, I think every one of you know us on a personal level. So, like how we've seen in Impractical Jokers, they come, they give a presentation or so, and we ask you guys, in a raise of hands, say whether we should go for with this idea. So, just like that, all of you guys, please DM us and let us know. If you can't DM the Fantastic page, just DM one of us and let us know what you think. A few of you did give us a thumbs up on this. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, just DM us and let us know on whether we should do something else. If you want to know more, if you want, finances, we literally have finances ready of things we want to do. So if you know somebody also, it would be really helpful if you connect us with that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so thank you so much, all of you once again. It's been really wonderful of having all of you on board. And as stated, we are India's only fun port. So hoping that we stay with the same vigor and also appealing to you all to spread the word about us and also get in touch. You may get in touch with each one of us. You can visit our page as well, the Fantastic Arena page. And yeah, till the next time, we will be posting a lot more information about Fantastic and what our plans are in the coming few days, and you can stay tuned to that. And we also have our video will also be available on the Insta page and also on YouTube and the Fantastic platform as well. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, thank you so much.
thank you so much, guys. Huge shout out to my friends Joel and Bevan for coming and making it. And yes, once again, I would like to just, as we close, just tell everyone to stay safe. I know we're in a tough situation. We are hoping for the best. Everyone's hoping for the best. Let's contribute and help people in the best way we can. And let's stay positive, guys. So thank you so much. Thank you for joining. Bevan, would you like to just conclude it by saying thank you? And I will end it.
Bye.
I guess that
All right, guys.
Yeah.
So,
I guess
Yeah.
Bevan, we can't hear you.
so. Yeah. I guess we'll end the meeting now.
Okay, yes.
I guess if anyone has
Yeah.
any questions,
Sure.
and that I guess.
So thank you so much, guys.
That's
Stay
all.
safe, take care, wear your mask, keep washing your hands, and until next time, this is Fantastic Arena signing off. Bye.